Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to have the pre-match preview between FC Barcelona and Napoli. And so it has been a long time coming. We have waited for so long for this match to happen because the last time Barcelona and Napoli did meet was 7 months ago. And now we are here 7 months later and we are finally going to see the conclusion of the round of 16 between Barcelona and Napoli. And let me tell you, I am so excited. I am excited to see that this second leg is finally going to happen because I really did think that the UCL was going to be cancelled. Like, I did not know that after the pandemic if we are going to continue this season, but we are here, right? And I'm grateful to see that this match is going to happen. And so this second leg that we are going to watch between Barcelona and Napoli is going to be completely different. Like, this Barcelona team is going to come in looking like a completely different team because it has been 7 months. We have seen many players in Barcelona that are coming back from injury, or we're going to see players that are being promoted. And so again, it's going to be a completely different team, and that is what makes me so excited because we might very well see a very different result. And if Barcelona do approach Napoli differently, only because we have different players and some players are back, I do expect Barcelona to go into this match and score those goals. We have to score goals. We did come off a 1-1 draw against Napoli, and so it only makes sense to really beat Napoli in tomorrow's match, scoring many goals on the pitch. And I am going to explain how should Barcelona approach Napoli in tomorrow's match. Like, what is the game plan? What do we have now in this team that we did not have 7 months ago? And so I'm going to separate this video into two parts. The first part is going to be about what must Barcelona do differently in order to get a different result. In other words, a better result. And the second part is going to be about the top 4 players to look out for in FC Barcelona and why those 4 players can make that change. And so we are going to start with the first part. What must Barcelona do differently to get a better and different result? And in order to answer that question, we need some context on what's going on with Napoli. And so there are many teams in the UCL that did stop playing about a month ago, but Napoli, fortunately for them, only stopped playing about 5 days ago. And because of that, Napoli are not going to have any problem getting back into the game, getting back into the rhythm of how you should be playing UCL football. There is going to be no fitness issues, and so Napoli are in a very good standing. Now, I want to point out one very important thing about Napoli, right? If we look at their past 7 matches, they have conceded a total of 9 goals. So clearly we can see that Napoli is not the best team in Italy right now when it comes to the defense. And so I know that when teams like Napoli do play up against Barcelona and things are in high stakes, teams like them do turn up differently. They do end up playing like if they were Bayern or Real Madrid. That is the situation we have to face as FC Barcelona. And so the question is, why is Napoli constantly conceding goals? And if they're conceding that many goals right now, why was Barcelona struggling 7 months ago and only scoring 1 goal? Because we are FC Barcelona. We are that team that is supposed to score many goals against teams like Napoli. And so this is the stat that I really want to show you guys, right? Look at this picture here. Look at how Napoli approached FC Barcelona 7 months ago, and look at the last 7 matches of Napoli. Clearly you can see in these pictures that Napoli play much more defensively against FC Barcelona. And if we look at the past 7 matches of Napoli, their average position is much more different. They are much more willing to attack more and not sit back and defend. And this is only telling us that Napoli is not favoriting or is not faithful to their own game. And when Napoli do play against teams like FC Barcelona, they just say, you know what, we are not going to do what we did in the past 7 matches in Italy, because this FC Barcelona team have Messi, they have Suarez, they have Griezmann, they have Dembele, they have Ansu Fati, De Jong, they have so many other players. This is not a normal Italian team. Let's just sit back and defend. Let's make a deep block and just see what happens. And so that is what Barcelona is going to face. That is what I believe Barcelona is going to go up against in tomorrow's match. And again, as a FC Barcelona fan, that's extremely annoying. I hate to see so many teams like Napoli and Getafe, something that we do see in the Spanish league also, do this method. And one of the main men that's going to be leading that defensive line is Koulibaly. He is a defender that has been praised for his recent performances, and so he will be putting Barcelona's attack in check. This is something that we really need to look out for, because right now Barcelona's goal is to score as many goals as possible. We do not want to exit the round of 16. And so that is where the next question comes up, right? Is what is going to be Barcelona's answer to this? And so there has been reports that did come out throughout this whole week, and those reports were stating that Setien has a choice. He chooses either a 3-5-2 formation or a 4-3-1-2 formation. These are two completely different formations that bring out two completely different results. And Setien did have a interview about 3 to 4 hours ago, and he stated this: the starting lineup has already been decided for a few days, although it may vary according to circumstances, but everything is planned. And so those reports were also stating that he was not feeling the 3-5-2 formation, that it was not working out well, and the players did not respond well to the 3-5-2 formation. And that is where it gets very tricky, right? Because if we use the 3-5-2 formation, that is really going to give us the width, something that we do need against Napoli. Because in the last match against Napoli in the first leg, we were very narrow and we had no other options but to play narrow. And now that we do have the option to play very wide, it's very interesting to see that Setien may not favor the 3-5-2 formation. And so if we are going to use the 4-3-1-2 formation, that is absolutely going to kill the width. Because if you really think about it, if we put the players in this 4-3-1-2 formation, the three midfielders is going to be De Jong, Riqui Puig, and Rakitic, with Messi right in front of them and having Suarez and Griezmann up top. And just a side note, we must remember that Vidal and Busquets are not going to be participating in this match, and we are going to have Griezmann and Lenglet fit for the match against Napoli. But this is basically what the lineup is going to look like with a 4-3-1-2 formation. Again, this formation is going to make Barcelona attack very narrow, and so if we are going to attack 60% of the time through the middle, I think that the biggest answer to this, to really be effective in that final third area, is going to be Riqui Puig. This is a player that we did not have in the first leg, which is why I say that if we go narrow, I think that the result is going to turn out very different. Because if we face those deep blocks that Napoli might put out tomorrow, Riqui Puig is going to be that answer to get through that. Because his ability to get the ball quickly into the final third area and get those balls to Messi and Suarez and Griezmann and pick those passes around the box, that is something that Riqui Puig is extremely good at, and he will be our answer to get through that defensive line. And so he will have a very important role to play. And I think that yes, it is possible for us to play a 4-3-1-2 formation if we use it correctly. And just to give you guys a better image of what that could look like, if we look at the heat maps here, and this is against Atletico Madrid, a match that did happen about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Riqui Puig was playing the role of Lionel Messi. He was the provider, he was the man that was going up against Thomas Partey. And if we really digest this heat map here, we can see that Puig can basically take care of Messi's role. He's more than capable to do that. And I think that if we see Puig feeding those forwards exactly like how Messi does on the right wing, that is going to allow Messi to push forward. And we don't see that all the time. We don't see Messi say, okay, I'm going to go forward because I do see a player here who can take my spot. We never see Messi do that. But here with Riqui Puig, with Messi knowing that he does have a provider, I cannot explain enough that Riqui Puig's role in this match is going to be extremely important. And I think that that right there is the answer towards beating Napoli tomorrow. So now moving on to the second part of this match, and we are going to be talking about the top 4 players to look out for in Barcelona and why they could make that change. And we are first going to talk about the player that we did just talk about, and that is Riqui Puig. He is going to completely change the way Barcelona is going to play. He is that player that is more than capable to do what Messi does on the field, and it's going to be huge, right? It's going to be huge for Riqui Puig to really make a statement in this UCL, because when was the last time we did have a player like Riqui Puig who can do exactly what Messi does? And that is what makes it so interesting and so important for tomorrow's match. And so because of that, I do expect Setien to have a specific game plan for Riqui Puig. And he did say in the interview that happened 3 to 4 hours ago that Riqui Puig and Ansu Fati are ready to start in the Champions League. When they have played, they have done well enough. Moving on to the second player that we should be looking out for, and that is going to be Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati will be that plan B B in case whatever happens with the formation of the 4-3-1-2, if that does not end up working out and we are struggling to find goals for whatever reason, Ansu Fati is that man to be the plan B. And again, just to go back on that formation, the formation that we are going to use, which is the 4-3-1-2, it does not allow Ansu Fati to start in that match. Yes, can we put him in the front too? We could, but I believe that Setien is going to highly favor having Suarez and Griezmann up top because we have seen that worked out well against Villarreal. And so because of that, because of this formation being too narrow, Ansu Fati will not be included unless the formation changes, if the situation of Barcelona is not working out well. And if Napoli continue to use those deep blocks and we cannot go through in the middle, the second option is to go completely around that deep block. And the only player that is able to do that is Ansu Fati. And Ansu Fati is really that type of player to really come in those moments where we do need him. Because if we look at the match between Barcelona and Inter Milan, where we were leveled 1-1, it only took Ansu Fati about 2 or 3 minutes to make it 2-1. He is that player that can make that difference, or when we need that goal in the very last minute. And at 17 years old, regardless of his age, I think that he is good enough to show up in big occasions like this. And if you guys are wondering, okay, if Ansu Fati can't bring that width to this team, what about Dembele? And so unfortunately, it has been stated that Dembele will not go in this match against Napoli. The club has decided that it is not the best solution to risk Dembele immediately after his recovery. And Setien did say in the press conference that we have been thinking about the possibility of including Dembele into the squad list, but we are going to take too great of a risk. He doesn't have the great confidence yet. The best decision has been not to include him. Next week, we will see. Dembele had a few training sessions and still doesn't have the confidence in the world. He will come to Portugal for sure. And I love to hear that confidence in his words. I like to see that Setien really does bet on Dembele to come back for the quarterfinals and also expects Barcelona to go past Napoli. But final conclusion, Dembele is not going to be used, which means that Ansu Fati will be needed more than ever, just in case the plan A does not work out. Moving on to the next player, and that is Lenglet. This is a player that we have been waiting to be fit because we were in a moment where we only had Piqué as our only center back option. But now that we are here, Lenglet has fully recovered. He is ready. And I think that Lenglet needs to have a great performance. We do need him. I know that this video has been very attack focused, but defensively, one of the players that need to stand out is Lenglet. This is his moment. And he was not even used in the last match against Napoli because the player that did take his spot was Samuel Umtiti. But things have drastically changed. Lenglet is a player that we do expect to be here for a very long time, and he has had one of his best seasons so far. And with the likes of Dries Mertens and Callejon really being that attacking presence for Napoli, Lenglet does have a big duty in tomorrow's match, and I believe that Lenglet is more than capable to shut down those two players. And lastly, I do want to end it with one last player, and that is Lionel Messi. And I know that of course it's Messi, right? He is supposed to show up in occasions like this, but the reason why I want to talk about Messi tonight is because I believe that Messi is the player that wants the UCL the most. Like if you were to ask me, out of these 22 players in Barcelona, who is the player that wants the UCL the most, that is Lionel Messi. Because ever since Messi became captain of FC Barcelona, he has continued to tell the Camp Nou and us fans that he does want to bring the UCL back home. He hasn't won a UCL since 2015, and so yes, I understand why Messi is so hungry to win the UCL in this season. He is also 33 years old. He does not have many chances left, and in this year's UCL, he does have a great chance of making that happen. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if we do progress and beat Napoli and go into the quarterfinals, right after that, we will only be playing one-off matches. There is not going to be a second leg, and if we are going to have one-off matches, if we are only going to meet these teams only once in Europe, these are the type of matches Messi thrives in, and history has told us. The greatest example is Liverpool. Messi by himself has knocked out Liverpool in the first leg in the Camp Nou, but unfortunately the second leg had to happen and Barcelona's defense could not handle the pressure, and so the rest was history. But the point is that Messi thrives on one-off matches. You only need to give him one match and make him meet that team one time, and he will do the job for FC Barcelona. And I really do believe that Messi is aware of that. He is aware that he can knock out these teams if only given one match. And so I do expect Messi to be everywhere in the match against Napoli because he knows the opportunity that he has in his hands. And just to top it all off, I want to end it with some last few details, and it is official that Griezmann, Lenglet, and Araujo are all in the squad to face Napoli, and Dembele misses out since the club does not want to risk him. We will also have Monchu and Conrad de la Fuente to be featured in this squad. And so that is it for today's Barcelona v Napoli pre-match preview, and my final score prediction for this match is going to be 2-0. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I will be making a post-match review after this match does finish, regardless if we lose, tie, or win. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.